when we look at the crime situation that is prevalent in the country, it's almost like a staple right now. So then when we look at this situation, people are not really objectively looking at how we can solve these problems. For the most part, when crime happens, people tend to want to blame politicians. They want to blame the police. They want to just blame anybody without really looking at really to the elements of what causing these problems to happen. In some cases, politicians are responsible for the crime situation. We had a situation in recent years where there was this impasse, they call it, this operation that was taking place in the country. Then one of the politicians, it is alleged, went and reported the government to his father, to his godfather, United States, to say that the people in Lucia are carrying on certain methods of law enforcement that he deemed as being draconian. Because of that, there were certain decisions that were taken by his father, the United States, to punish the country and to punish high-level policemen, revoking visas and things like that. Now, subsequent to that, we have seen a situation where people have become very much emboldened. And it appears as if the police are demoralized. When I look at the situation, it appears as if the reasoning that is taking place with some of them police officers is that they are going to be in this force for 20 years or whatever amount of time. Let them collect their pension or their retirement money and leave. And because of the things that are happening, the way the police are being punished, they do not want to jeopardize their retirement and the other benefits that they're supposed to get. So the guys are on low profile, some of them just waiting for the time to come for them to leave this force and enjoy the money that they would have accrued over the period of time. But this same America that is coming with all of these rules and telling you how to manage your country, they themselves, look at how they treat people in their own country. Look at how the same people that will come to you all and tell you all that you're not supposed to be doing this and that. Our own Beaufort Jean, look at what they did to him in America. Their police, Beaufort was at his home, a responsible guy, a great student. The man was a serious accountant. Plus, in addition to that, the man was a Christian, going to their churches, singing in their churches in America. And they killed a man in his house. And these same people want to come to your country. They want to come to the country where Beaufort is from and tell police how to do things. Have you all given us an account of the man's of Beaufort's blood? So we're just supposed to forget about that. But then you will come to people's country and tell them what they can and cannot do. And they accept all of that in the country. Years ago, I was looking at some criminology article or book or something like that, where one of the professors in America was saying that the most violent force in a country is supposed to be the police force. The most violent force in a country is supposed to be the police force. They in America, their criminology said that, and they practice in that. In America, there is no gang, no Crips, nothing that is more violent than the police force that they have there. Within reason, of course. But then these same people who do all of those things coming in people's house, man that go there to school, do well, clapping in their churches, they kill him in his house. But they want to prevent people from executing judgment when the country is in trouble, is in unrest. Moun nou ki ka ba conseil pour acheter cheval plein nan, il pa ka wè do swing. So what we have now is a situation of chaos in the country. Their advice, they want to regulate and tell you how to run your country, how to run your police force. But you need to realize that their advice is messing up your country. And if this thing is going to continue in the country, they themselves, these same people who telling you all people not to do this and not to do that, they're trying to regulate the police force. They themselves are going to put things on the FBI fact sheet and say it is dangerous to travel to your country. Do not go to St. Lucia because there's a lot of killing going on in that place. These are some people you ain't supposed to listen to at all. You're supposed to find out how it is, based on your environment, what is the best way to run your country. In broad daylight, in high noon, broad daylight, look at what they did to the judge guy. The whole world saw that. But then you want to come to man country and try to almost put sanctions on people for trying to control the way we police people in our country. So right now, the policemen in a situation where the fellas are demoralized. The fellas are demoralized. You can't just allow police to do what they want. By all means, there have to be laws and in terms of how things are executed. And we know that there are certain policemen who are not supposed to be in that force at all. They bring a bad name even to the people, to their other colleagues. But generally, you cannot have a situation where you have your police demoralized like that. You cannot have a seat because these policemen are like your first line of defense. And you cannot have people just killing your police officers like that. It was just an idea in my head. I wanted to make a video about that around 2 months ago. If we ever reach the point where people start killing our police, this is where we're going to lose this country. We cannot have that. And if people believe in prayers in this country, proper atonement has to be made because of that policeman that they killed there, you know. Because once you open a tap of blood, you can't stop that from flowing, you know. They have to make atonement for that, their defense system that they're weakening. And the hypocrisy of these people in this country. During the impasse thing, some of them, they used to talk. You know, if a police were to shoot somebody or whatever, even if you're right or wrong, you will hear some of them complaining and all of that, they'll be complaining. But you know, when you're hearing these things happening, you will just hear them talk. When you see criminals killing people, you will just hear a little talk for a day and everything is okay. And the laws need to be changing too. These people who come in on television and say how these people were good boys when everybody knows you were terrorizing the place. Then people need to be arrested too. So we're in a situation now where the police fellas are demoralized. The will is not there. And I just feel that some of these people are just waiting for that time to come to just take their money and just move out of that police force. People just waiting to get out of that thing. You just at a disadvantage all how you look at it. That even in the execution of your duty, you can end up being in a situation where you lose all your benefits. We know that there are some people that are not supposed to be in this police force. They bring a bad name on the country. bad name even on their other colleagues. But generally, man, it cannot be where you have people working your first line of defense demoralized like that. Everybody, every little boy can be busting shot in the country. Once a police buster shot, everybody feel like, you know, you're hearing people starting to complain. Man, let me tell you something. America, we want an account the same way you want to come and put socks on people's hair for the impasse vibe. We ain't get an account of what happened of the situation in Bofam Jean yet. There was a young scholar who was in the States there studying music. He died. We have not gotten an account of what happened to him. In high noon, we saw what happened to the Floyd fella. People having their hands up saying they surrender and the police still killing them. But you want to come to St. Lucia and put socks on police, put socks on the government and government ministers and high-ranking fellas in the police force for trying to establish order in their country. And then when there is no order, when there is disorder and chaos in our country, you will be putting on your FBI fact sheet that this place is a bad and violent place. Do not go there. The police are demoralizing the country. But they themselves, their principle over there in America is the police force is supposed to be the most violent force in the country. But in your country, your police is supposed to be like a like a little child, ice cream people. Whereas bad boys just come to just do what they want in the country. But your police supposed to be there quiet. Your police are supposed to be there quiet, demoralized, and in a situation where they're almost supposed to be like sitting ducks. That's bad advice them people want to give us. We need to take our destiny in our own hands and stop listening to those people. If it is that we have whatever training that they say they are going to give, let's take our training, get our training from some other country. Let's get our if it's boats, this Coast Guard or whatever it is that we are afraid we're not going to get, let's get them things from some other place. But if you continue following that doctrine of the police being like, you know, like little children with their hands in their pocket, whereas bad boys doing what they want in the place, it's a matter of time before they themselves put on the FBI fact sheet book thing that do not, telling the people, do not visit that country because of the level of violence in this place. C'est pas tout conseil au capon. You must not surrender to every pressure that comes. You must not fold and buckle under every pressure. Look at what they did to our own fella in their country. A young student again went there the last time. We didn't know what happened to him. They sent his body for his people to bury him. We see what happened to George Floyd. We see what happened to all of those people that happen in there, that are in their country. You must not take every advice. You have a demoralized police force. Your first line of defense is demoralized. And who telling you? Who calling kettle black? And the guy who went to the embassy or wherever you went to tell these people, to report our country to these people, that resulted now in the situation that we're in with police being demoralized, man. You're taking that politics thing too far and too personal and too wicked with that. You're going too wicked that politics thing in the country. Keep the fire burning.